Today I'm going to introduce you to my friend Wanda Kuntz. I've known Wanda for close to 30 years. She comes from a very musical family. She has a master's degree in music. She is really, really good musically. She has been on staff at a few different churches in the St. Louis for a number of years. The current one that she's at, an evangelical free church, she's been there for 10 years. And so she has this wealth of background that she really has a lot to offer. But as we sat and talked for this video, one of the things that really struck me is her perspective on running rehearsals. You know, a lot of people are very rigid about how it's supposed to work. And I'll be honest, this is one of those things that you can do it either way, and neither one is emphatically right. There's nothing in the Bible that says this is the way it's supposed to be. But Wanda's take on rehearsals is so different from some of the other people that I've talked to that I wanted to include it here just to give you a very different perspective. So take a look at how she views and runs rehearsals compared to a lot of people.
Well, I don't know that our church is unique, but our group is made up of so many ages, stages in life, and so we have a time that we're supposed to begin a rehearsal rarely starts right on time. Also, because of the fact that we're all different ages, the younger families have their children at rehearsal, and it's so sweet because the older children will watch the younger children. You know, the little ones are running around, the older ones are kind of watching out, make sure they're not bumping into anything. And because there's a lot of stuff going on, and I know that these are volunteers who are lovingly giving their time, I want to respect that and allow that camaraderie, you know, that we feel when we get together. But the issue then is focusing in on the music and focusing in on rehearsal. And so I find that the moment we pray is the moment to begin. That's when, if we're all quiet, we're praying together, that just sets the tone. Then we're able to jump right into the first song. I feel that it's important to build relationships among the team members, to really know one another well and to share. I think that's one of the reasons that I like the flexibility when people arrive for rehearsal, because that does give us an opportunity to talk to one another, to share. Oftentimes people will bring up a prayer request then, but once we're ready to pray and ready to work, then we actually work. The musicians at our church are very talented, and they want to do this. I mean, I don't have to coerce them. They want to participate. They just happen to be at all different stages of life with families, and some of them are the grandparents of the children that are there, so they sort of chip in too and kind of help. They pick up a little one if they need it and go right along, right on singing or doing whatever they're doing. I just want to encourage those people to be involved in music ministry. They are the people that should be involved in music ministry.
So clearly, Wanda's perspective is a lot more laid back than a lot of people. But that doesn't mean that everything is all just kind of loosey-goosey kind of thing. She actually has some strong guidelines of how things are supposed to work in certain areas. So take a look at one last short segment here.
I think another thing is that I say if a person isn't there at the beginning of our actual playing or singing, that song, that particular song, they'll have to lay out on. They won't be able to participate. So that's sort of my drawing line. If maybe we don't start at 9 o'clock, but we start at 9:15, as long as we are all there and we start together, that's fine. But if someone, straggles in at 9:20 and we've already done the first song or two, then they just agree they won't come up to the platform until after those first few songs. And it seems to work.
All right, again, I included this whole segment with Wanda just to give a different perspective. It's easy to get hung up. We've done some other videos where we've talked about people being very rigid on time and how things work and just so. And I get that, I really do. Having been the main worship leader at our church for 14 years, there's certain things you have to do a certain way. I understand that. But at the same time, I think Wanda offers a different perspective. Different people are going to do things differently. It's just the way it is. And so those of you that are more inclined to go in this direction, I just wanted to give you some freedom to recognize that what the others said might be great for their situation, might not be as much for yours. So consider this. What here is worth it for you in taking out of this that's going to fit into your situation, the way that God has created you, the way that you think, and how can this benefit you in the long run in dealing with your people?
Brought to you by myworshipleadingcoach.com.
Helping you to be more fully equipped as a worship leader.